But football without fans is nothing. It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch it, it becomes nothing.
Johnston. And a goal by Johnston. That makes it 2 by him.
We were magnificent. Magnificent.
Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson. That is sensational. Nakamura.
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
He's done it! Jarman's put it in, and without a doubt, the European Cup is on its way.
We'll never stop. We'll stop at half time and we'll stop at the end of the game when we celebrate.
Yes, hello, what is happening? It is Saturday the 19th of March and it's myself and Paddy for another episode of the Jungle Gyms podcast. We're just beating Ross County 4-0 at Parkhead. Paddy, not a bad result, mate. Not a fucking bad day either. Half in March.
Mate, spring's out, the sun's out, and the tick's out. What a game. Brilliant. Excellent result. Clearly, we blew them away even the first 45 minutes, mate, the first 30 minutes. The game was in the bag, and just a great day all round. Extended the lead at the top. Everybody's happy. Great. As I say, sun's out. The mood's changed.
It was another 3 points, another 4 goals. We're putting pressure on Rangers for tomorrow. We're increasing the goal difference, and everybody was getting in the act. A lot of positives to take for today, mate. Where to start? Like the actual lineup: Hart, Taylor, Starfelt, Cameron Carter-Vickers, and Juranovic at the back. So no surprises there. In the midfield, Rogic, McGregor, and Tatati, and up front we've got Giakoumakis, Maida, and Jota. Sorry, I thought everybody was brilliant today. It was one of the games where everything just came off for us. As we said, the weather was great, or the fans were out in their numbers. Everything was just beautiful, perfect conditions. Just want to start off with, there was a wee tribute to Frank Connor, who his funeral was about four days ago. So Frank Connor died earlier on this month in March, and he was the assistant manager under Davy Hay between 1983 to 1986. And then he was also the caretaker manager after Liam Brady left, and he had a perfect winning record for was a caretaker manager.
About 5 or 6 games, wasn't it?
Aye.
Record.
One of the names who might come up in like trivia, Celtic questions.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, everybody spoke very, very highly of him. Even Malcolm Mackay, who was the opposition manager for today's game for Ross County, he said that he probably wouldn't have been a football player without the influence of Frank Connor. A great man. I believe he had 9 children who were all at the game today. Outstanding. What a legacy that was.
One of them's a current linesman, I believe.
Yeah.
Aye.
Must be one of the good guys, I'm a top anyway.
Aye, one of the only ones, mate.
What a legacy. Professionally and like a family man, nine kids. Imagine that. What a household that must have been. Condolences to his family and his friends, and best wishes. Rest in peace. Who have we got in the house, Paddy?
Kev 14, hail hoops, hail troops. Sean Ross, hail boys, better score than I thought. Yep. Question here for yourself, Gav. Kenneth Watson, did you enjoy reading the George Connolly book?
Mate, I'm not going to lie. I've got the book. I've not started it yet.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm a pure.
What one honest, handsome man you are. Because I just lied. But
I could have lied.
There we go.
But did you enjoy that first half, though, Paddy?
I did, mate. It was great first half. Scott Callan leaving, guys. Another 3 GG goals. Can't wait to see what he will be like next season. He will get 30 goals easily. And McGinty is laughing like a wee bitch.
Yeah.
Because we started like 2 minutes late. Hello, mate. Yes, mate.
I want to start with Giakoumakis now. Like a Tarantino movie, I'm going to fast forward because his third goal was a penalty. Do you remember the last time he had a penalty at Parkhead?
I do, mate. And it was the 30th of October. It was against Livingston. It was that game that he missed the penalty in the 91st minute or the 89th minute, something like that. We dropped another 2 points against... Well, we dropped points against Livingston again. We dropped 2 points in the league, and at that point, it was like, God, here we go again. But if we can remember back to that game, Gav, it was actually Juranovic that gave Giakoumakis the penalty. And everybody was like, what's going on here? Why is he not taking it? And then today, as you were probably going to allude to, mate, it's the exact same again. Juranovic has passed the ball on, done the gracious teammate duty, gave it to the guy who's on 2 goals, and of course, we all know what happens.
It was very kind of him. And the reason I bring it up was to kind of compare and contrast the different attitudes between now towards Giakoumakis and back then towards Giakoumakis. I remember walking back to my car after the game and driving home and putting on the radio, and everybody was slating Giakoumakis. We were criticising Postecoglou that he had to take ownership, and he said that it was his decision for penalty responsibilities to be Giakoumakis. But to fast forward to today, he scored the hat-trick, a consecutive hat-trick in the league.
Yes.
We're walking away with the 3 points. How different is it now with the fans' relationship with Giakoumakis, with the media, their perception of him compared to back then? How would you compare, mate?
Mate, it's night and day, because you look at what it was like when Giakoumakis came in, because obviously at the time, Kyogo, he was flying as a forward. You know, he was the guy who was the new he was the new hero at Celtic Park. You know, everybody was flying a Japan flag. Giakoumakis was brought in, we'd all been told, and all probably went and looked at his goal scoring exploits for last season. You know, top goal scorer in Eredivisie for the team that got relegated. Very much a stop-start career to the start. And then he was out for a long, long spell after he eventually made his debut, his long-awaited debut. Scored a couple. I think he scored 1 goal against St Johnstone, and then he was out again for an extended period. I think it was like 13 games or something that he missed. But you know, we've all seen what the guy's brought to the table since he's come back in. It's not just goals, right? The guy has brought in a style and a play that Celtic has been missing for such a long, long time, as far as I'm concerned. You look back to maybe Moussa Dembele's first season, and he was that kind of robust kind of forward who was able to use his body to back players off, you know, go and terrorise defences, and of course score goals, which is the most important thing. For me, you're getting that now with Giakoumakis. He's bringing guys into the game, and he's opening up the play. So guys like my age are able to come in and have Jota is able to just kind of run about and do his thing. Giakoumakis is, mate, he's a great player. I said at the start, I thought he was a guy who I had a really good feeling about, and to be honest, I'm delighted that that's we're seeing it now. You know what I mean?
Aye. You want your main striker with confidence, and now we've got 7 games remaining in the league. We don't have much distraction apart from the Scottish Cup. So going into these remaining 7 games with your main centre forward with brimming with confidence, things can't get any better. But going into the game, mate, we're playing Ross County at home. Obviously, we're going to be favourites, but they're fighting for something. They're fighting to consolidate their position in the top 6, and they've also got, believe it or not, the top scorer in the Premier League, and that was what's his name, Charles Cook. He's got 13 league goals, so more than anybody. A great scoring record for a kind of mid-table team, Ross County. So your expectations going into the game, obviously we're clear favourites. We would have been raging. The media would have had a field day if we dropped points. So taking care of business, a 4-0. And the first half, it couldn't have got any better. We get our first goal within 11 minutes. Great wing play to Jota on the left. And he floats in a deep ball for Giakoumakis. He rises up like a salmon and he converts the near post for him. A great start, mate. And it was just more and more of the same. Everybody was positive. And actually, 2 minutes later, a blatant handball, which got turned down. The referee was having none of it. I can't remember which Celtic player it was, but again, it was in the box, and they pinged in across. The defender was only a few yards away, but he made himself bigger. He held his hands up, and on the replay, you can see clearly it was a handball, but yet the referee, he shot it. And I was hoping it wasn't going to be one of those days where we rued that decision, but it certainly wasn't. Mate, any kind of players that really kind of stuck out for you in the first half?
I think it's hard to put a name on just one player, mate, because you look at the way we approach the game. When we play teams like Ross County, it's usually they've got 10 men inside their own box. But see, today, mate, it was as if we had 10 men in their box, or at least in their half at all times. Joe Hart, he could have fucking put a picnic table out, you know. halfway in his own fucking area and just sat there with a cup of tea.
He had his deck chair out. It was that type of weather, mate. Aye.
Mm.
What's the comments? What's the comments, mate?
Pretty much, mate. Just asking about Giakoumakis. There's a couple of guys saying that they would love to see Giakoumakis and Kyogo up front together. I wonder how that's going to work. I really do.
Can I ask to you and to Scott Cameron by that point, if you'd like to see two up front, so whether that be 4-4-2 or 3-5-2, but would you like to see Kyogo and Giakoumakis together up front? Do you think that would serve us better domestically or in Europe?
Oh, domestically. Well, saying that, if you've got Giakoumakis, if you look at Giakoumakis, right, he doesn't do anything flashy, mate. He's just he's a 6'1" battering ram. Guy's solid. You know, if he's there, he's going to be if you could get away with playing two men up front, I think he would be the perfect foil for Kyogo, because if Kyogo can make the wee runs into the space that nobody's looking for, if he can back off and just pick the pockets, and Giakoumakis is doing all the dirty work, and you've saw that he can play with his back towards goal, which is ideal. But as we all know, mate, I don't think Ange's even going to contemplate playing that. So for me, I mean, obviously Giakoumakis, he leads the line now. He's got the jersey, and then you're looking at Jota. Jota's playing either side to accommodate Maeda, and Maeda as well, mate. Look how good Maeda was. He's absolutely phenomenal with it. Absolutely brilliant.
If Giakoumakis never get the hat-trick, then I would have said that Maeda man of the match for me. I actually said in the WhatsApp chat, he puts in the shift of two players in a game. That enthusiastic. His work rate is phenomenal. It's a credit to him.
Aye, absolutely brilliant. And that's where you're seeing the best of Maeda on a big open pitch at Celtic Park. People are saying that they've yet to see this burst of speed from him, but they're talking about when he's kind of playing as a winger or a wide forward. Now, if you look at Maeda isn't fast when he's got the ball at his feet. Maeda is fast when he's running behind people. As I said it before, and I know I kind of nearly threw up my mouth when I said that, I kind of likened him a bit to Kenny Miller, because Kenny Miller was never that fast when he was running at you. Where he was such a pest was when he was playing on your shoulder, basically, and then using his burst of speed to get away from you. And that's kind of what you're getting from Maeda as well. And it's a weapon, mate. It really is. Defenders can't cope with him. Goalkeepers can't cope with him as well. Every single time there's a pass back goes to the goal, it doesn't matter where it is, what time of the park, what time of the game it is. It doesn't matter. As soon as that ball goes back to the goalkeeper, Maeda's coming from nowhere to try and go and close down the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper, mate, at every single point. It's unbelievable.
I was actually thinking, like, before that question came in for Scott Cameron there, I was thinking, if I was a defender, who would I rather play against? Would I rather play against Kyogo or Giakoumakis? And I know probably your first reaction would be, you don't want to play against Kyogo because of his movement. But I think with both of their work rates, there's no easy answer. Although you might match up well physically against Giakoumakis, the guy doesn't give up. He's a handful. He's like a bull in a china shop in that box. And he finds a way. He proved that last season with Holland, surpassing everybody. So I don't think there's an easy answer. I don't know about that one. Who would you rather play against, Kyogo or Giakoumakis? The wing is definitely Maeda's best position. Well, that's where he's been playing right now. And at first I thought, I was sceptical. I was thinking, he's a centre forward. He's like a kind of Kyogo type player in that position. I thought whenever I first saw Maeda on the hoops, I was thinking that's not his position. He's going to try because he's an honest player. He works hard. But I don't know if he's going to excel. But right now, he's putting in a lot of hard work and things are coming off for him. He's getting the goals. He is getting the goals. Totally different player from Abada, who's definitely a wing player, or Jota, who's a wing player. But Maeda, through hard work and determination, it's working for him, and that's why he's still in the team. Why he's still in the team, mate.
Do you think that there might be too much of a similarity between Maeda and Kyogo? I know they're certainly different players, but as I said earlier, Maeda is at his best when he's playing on the defender's shoulder. So is Kyogo. Do you think there might be too much of similarity there if we play the two of them together?
What I would say, like, it's a good question, really is a good question. What I would say is, see that the graveyard, I was going to sort of call it a graveyard shift, but that's more of a fullback shift. The shift that Maida is doing in the left channel, Kyogo can't do that. He cannot do that. Kyogo can only play centre forward, in my opinion. Tell me if you disagree. But Maida can do both.
Yep.
But I think Kyogo is arguably more effective in the centre position than what Maida is. Good competition.
Mate, I can't argue with that because we've seen Kyogo playing on the left. We've seen him playing on the right once as well against St Johnstone. I know that Postecoglou did say that when he brought Kyogo in, that Kyogo was a wide guy. He wasn't getting brought in to play as a centre forward or a striker, but kind of needs must. We had to play him in that area. And look at what he did at the start, mate. The guy was absolutely phenomenal. Look at his goals in the cup final as well. You know, the wee man is a match winner. He's a talisman. He's everything that you want. But you do need a blend. You need a mixture. You can't just go with. You can't have like two of the same guys. Say like your forwards. You can't have two Kyogos. You can't just replace a Kyogo with a Kyogo. You need to have like a Giakoumakis who is going to be able to come in and ruffle some feathers, stick his arse where it's going to fucking hurt. You know what I mean? That's what you do, mate. That's what big burly strikers.
What do you mean by that? Stick with your arse where it hurts?
Well, mate, that's what every big burly striker does. They stick their arse into a defender. You know, they put the defender off, and they get themselves into positions that can score goals, but they get themselves into spaces where they can hold up the ball and bring other guys into play. Kyogo doesn't really do that. Maeda really doesn't do that. Abada doesn't do that. But you've got guys there who can all play forward. So technically now, we've got four forwards. You know what I mean? Jota, Maeda, they can all interchange. Abada, I don't really know. I mean, Abada's kind of played his best football for Celtic as a forward.
Think so.
Well, aye, because he kind of had that wee purple patch, didn't he? Scoring run when he was having to play up front.
Well, whenever I see him playing at the right, in fact, you're entitled to that opinion. I would say that he's effective on the right wing as well. Even the Rangers game, the 3-0 game at Parkhead, he forced through his pressing 2 unforced errors for Rangers, and I'm a big fan of Abada. I'm becoming a big fan of Abada. What have we got for Kevin? Andrew's style is definitely in-game switching. It's only going to get better. Maida out wide, you never know where he's going to go. Very true, mate. Very true. Scott Cameron, we are spoiled for choice. Love it. Indeed. And spoiled for choice, more so even in the midfield with the return of Turnbull. I'll go over the remaining events in the first half, but Paddy, I want to ask you this. And of course, Stephen Coulthard, great to see Turnbull back. So Turnbull came on as a second half substitute, but I wanted to ask you, do you think that Turnbull coming back now has got a point to prove? And I wanted to kind of elaborate on that because the complexion of the midfield has changed in his absence. Whenever he was playing in the early part of the season, it was always him, McGregor and Roderick, game in, game out, and like every now and again, Beaton would come on. But since he's been injured, you've had Hatate being signed and O'Reilly has been signed, and both of them are fan favourites. Ideguchi, I'm not really going to talk about that because he's still to make his mark, but you've got 2 fan favourites, they're centre midfielders, and it's going to be direct competition for Turnbull. So how do you sum up the future of Turnbull for the remaining part of this season alone? 7 games to go. Jinky's got a point to prove.
It certainly is, and he's got a point to prove to the supporters or not, because at the start of the season, now, bear in mind last season he came in, never really get played up to a certain point, and then when he did start to get played last season, he was phenomenal. It was absolutely brilliant. This season, I personally thought it was garbage, absolutely garbage, especially when Rogic ended up out with a long-term injury. Turnbull played the focal point in the midfield. He was the highest player, and he was the guy that we were really highly dependent on getting forward and kind of making things happen. He didn't do it for me. He always kind of drifted out wide. He looked good, mate, when it was an easy game, in my opinion. He looks to try and play the kind of easy on the eye passes. he just didn't get involved. We were missing runners from midfield to link up with the forward, and Turnbull wasn't doing it. But as you say, at that point, you know, it was Turnbull's basically jersey. He didn't really need to do anything. He could get a game every single game. But now you've got Rogic back, you've got O'Reilly back, you've got Hatate. You know, these are all guys that are direct competition now. I wouldn't say McCarthy's direct competition because they're kind of deeper line players. Even Beaton at that point hadn't been playing in midfield, but Beaton's now back to being a midfielder again. He's no longer that reserve centre back anymore, mate. So he still is obviously a name in competition, but I don't think he's direct competition, unlike O'Reilly and Hatate. But those two guys have proved so far their worth and their transfer fees. You know, so Turnbull really is, he's behind in the pecking order. I know obviously it's through injury and that, but he's going to need to work harder than he's ever worked before, mate, to get in and reclaim his jersey back.
And to the viewers, in case, like, from Paddy's point, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and that, for me, that's not a negative. I want to turn that into a positive. It might be, it's not bashing Turnbull. The good thing is, think about it as a collective for Celtic, as a Celtic fan, we've got increased competition now in the midfield. I thought Hatate started off this, whenever he started the Celtic career, brilliantly. But he's had maybe a couple of lukewarm performances, and maybe you can say the same thing about O'Reilly. But with Turnbull coming back with a point to prove, it's going to be a rocket up their arse as well. I think it's only a good thing for everybody in the midfield. They're going to be busting a gut and training every day to prove to Ange that they deserve the jersey for 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. It's only good for the fans, only good for Ange as a team, as a collective. So that is a good thing with Turnbull coming back in the competition. So I'm not
of course it is, mate, because we've all seen how good Turnbull can be, and that was one of the reasons why I was getting so angry at the start of the season, is because I know he's a good player. We know that he can be that kind of guy that can unlock defences. He can play a brilliant through ball. He can get shots on target. He can score. He's decent at free kicks, this kind of thing. I know he's technically good. You know, even with corners and that, he's good. But he just didn't. He didn't step up when he needed to. He wasn't able to put himself on the podium and be that kind of main man within the squad. And I know probably at that time in that situation, it was a squad that was still in transition. It was still trying to find its feet. So I'm going to put it down to something like that. But now, as you say, it's not just about having Turnbull back. It's about having another integral member back into the squad. It's about pushing Hatate on. It's about pushing O'Reilly on. It's definite. It's not in any shape or form a negative. It's no like, look at the other side in Govan, mate. They're waiting on Aaron Ramsey to come back. You know what I mean? They're needing him back. We don't need Turnbull. This is a bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's about the team. It's about the team. It's not about individuals at this stage in the season. And I think Ange is fostering that mentality with the guys. We've got Kevin here, 14. This is Ange style. Players are busting their gut just to get picked. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Paddy, I want to cover over the remaining kind of. We've got Paul Barrow. How you doing, Gav and Paddy? Hail, mate, Paul. I hope you're doing well. It is a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Life is looking good right now, and I hope life is good for you right now as well, mate. Never known such a squad with a rigid formation, to have so many options attacking. It's actually a good point that he makes. Rigid. You could accuse Ange being rigid in terms of formation, but that's rigid in terms of philosophy. Rigid in terms of belief. Easy for me to say, aye. That's a good thing. But somebody who's living to die by their principles, but having so many options to carry out those principles, that's a good thing. He's got a lot of tools in the box for the strategy that he has.
But you look at it now, Gav, right, and kind of at the start of the season, and then when things started to kind of look as if they were about to go pear-shaped, we all spoke about it, and we all says, right, this guy's only willing to play one way. It's one formation. It's Ange's way or the highway. That's fine if he's going to live and die by that sword, right? But what you're seeing now is that he's now got the tools at hand to actually perform this duty. Do you know what I mean? You can play a certain way, but see, as long as you've got guys that you can bring in, you don't need to alternate formation, but you can alternate personnel. And as long as these guys are all singing off that same hymn sheet, they're all playing with the same
Is that true? Aye, is that true? Because I've heard, I'm sure, well, if I get £1 for every time you said Plan B, I'd be a fucking rich man, Paddy. Care explain yourself on that one.
What's that?
If I had £1 for every time you said Plan B, I'd be a very rich man. So care to explain yourself, just to make sure we're on the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this is Angie's Plan B. It's not exactly like in terms of going for like a 4-3-3 when you're playing against Livingston and throwing on a big target man. But when you're playing a certain formation, you've got different guys that you can play in. You know what I mean? Like a Giakoumakis who can step in for Kyogo and he's a totally different player. And there's 100% true saying that your accents sound funny. Cheers, pal. Yeah, fucking nugget. By the way, that is 100% true.
Curiosity, 100% true. That's a funny name. Where are you from? We're not going to bash where you're from. It could be from Timbuktu or fucking Largs. I don't care. Curiosity, where you're from. Paddy, you've got a funny accent. Imagine that.
Right, cheers, pal.
Right. Okay, I want to cover off the remaining kind of flashpoints in the first half. So we got the goal. We had the penalty appeal turned down. That was back in the 13th minute. This is like a Tarantino movie going back to the start. Okay, 17th minute, a cross from Josip Juranovic, and it was headed down by Maida. And Giakoumakis with 2 bites at the cherry, one header after another. But he scored on the second attempt. Actually, the first attempt was cleared off the line. He scored with the second attempt, and it was a bit of a bullet header. I would say it was a bit like Jimmy McGrory, but I'm not old enough to actually remember stuff like that. But yes, 2-0 up, 17 minutes in, it can't really get any better. And then on the 25th minute, Maida scores from a corner kick. Corner kick comes in. I think it was Giakoumakis who headed it down, and Maida with an outstretched boot, it goes past the keeper, it wrong foots him. 3-0 up, 25 minutes gone. You're thinking this cannot get any better, but then a minute later, you get a man sent off. You might have missed this because we were talking. I think you might have been busy whenever the red card happened, but it was a guy called Ramsey for Ross County. He went in against Rogic. It was his ball to win, but the way that he went in. Nowadays, it's a red card, and unfortunately, he injured Roger that he had to actually come off. It was a full-blooded slide tackle. He followed through on Rogic. He had to go. And Rogic, like, a few seconds later, he couldn't run off. He had to go. He came off, and O'Reilly came on. It was a bit of a nasty one. Did you see the replay on it?
Mate, I've still not seen it. It must have been bad enough if Rogic had suddenly come off injured, you know what I mean? Because he's another one that's going to be. I don't know how bad that is. I've not heard anything yet, but you're assuming it was bad enough, clearly, for him to come off injured. So you hope it's not going to be any worse, especially with the next kind of couple of games that we've coming up. Busy month next month as well. Going to need everybody there, strong, fit, and ready. And we've got a guy there, Tom Rogic, who this season at times has been absolutely unplayable, mate. Unplayable, majestic, magical, whatever kind of superlative you want to throw at it. The guy's the guy that can unlock anything. He'd be able to find space in a bed with Gemma Collins, you know.
What can I think of? He'd be able to fight for space in a bed with Gemma Collins.
No, he'd be able to find space.
Mate, who's Gemma Collins?
Oh, mate, don't do this to me. You can't ask me to explain something.
I think she's a plus size.
She's big and beautiful.
Okay, good for her. Good for her.
Minus the beautiful.
I'm sure our parents love her.
Aye, I'm sure.
I was like, after the first half, I was looking back on it, and it was, what have we got? Red Scotland, mate. How you doing? Hope you're well. Georgios Giakoumakis is our main man. Our main number 9 anyway, yeah. Everything needs to work around him leading the line. Even Kyogo should be able to play alongside or just off the big creek. A lot of goals in that duo. Red Scotland, I want to ask you, I agree with you that he should be able to play off him. How would you like him to play off? Would you like a 3-5-2 with him being the two, well, the 9 and the 10, Giakoumakis and Kyogo, or would you like Kyogo to be pushed back onto the wing? Because I find that Kyogo's not as effective on the wing. So how would you like him to be played up alongside him? And for Danielle, hope you're doing well, Danielle. That injury is the ref's fault. It was. Ramsey had a bad tackle a few minutes earlier. I totally agree with you. He should have had a yellow card for it. But he didn't, and that gave him license to go in with that full-blooded challenge. He missed a penalty in 2 years. Aye. Scott Cameron, we're starting to score more goals from corners. We are looking more clinical, mate. Yeah, it was a clinical display, Paddy. What I took from that first half performance, mate, it was total dominance in the first half. Joe Hart should have had the deck chair out. Maida and Jota were interchanging, which is great to see. I hate that. Again, we're talking about rigid formation. That's fine, but interchangeable positions, and that's what we saw. We had midfield runners, and they were getting played in with like lofted through balls. That was a great thing, and we weren't even just doing that. We were playing it through them with the ball on the deck. We had like flicks, tricks, dummies. It was brilliant, and everybody was getting on in the act. And you couldn't say that one person had a bad game.
I said it in the last show we done. You look at the way that the guys are playing. Everybody's the mood's up, the confidence is up. You know what I mean? I knew fine well we were going to rock into this game today with total confidence, no arrogance, because there's a difference here. The guys are just loving playing their football. You can see everything that these guys are playing for each other. They're fighting for each other, and they look as if they genuinely love each other. You know, even look at Maeda's goal today. You know, that wee celebration thing he does. I don't actually know what it is he's fucking doing, but whatever it is he's doing something like that. But Juranovic is right beside him right away, and he's doing exactly the same thing. You know what I mean? So there's a cracking camaraderie in the squad, and it's beautiful, mate. And it's like a family, mate. Everybody's all happy.
That kind of reminded me. Do you remember back for what was it, Sunderland? I think. Do you remember Asamoah Gyan, the Ghanaian?
Yes.
Well, he scored a goal for Sunderland, and you know, Zenden, the Dutch guy, Zenden with the long kind of blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
He played for Liverpool, Chelsea before. So Gyan scored a goal, and he would do this mad kind of like dance. Zenden came up and he just did this kind of like chicken dance, right? You're like, oh my god, what are you doing? Don't do that, don't do that. That just kind of reminded me of that. What have we got? Dermond, Celtic Rabito.
Celtic Rabito.
Over to you, Paddy. Read it out.
What a glorious night. Got on the boys. Mark's on to reclaim the league. Just jump back onto some of the last comments and all. Yeah, I agree with this one for Kevin. I don't think we will see Giakoumakis and Kyle go much together. 60 and 30 minutes rotations, most likely. Absolutely. But the good thing is, Kevin, we've got players that we can change the entire formation up front about, you know what I mean? And you can do it in game. Doesn't need to be a substitution. Like Jota can go from one wing to another. I'm sure Kyogo will be able to drift out left and all and right, and Giakoumakis will just do his thing. I just love the fact that we've now got a striker who's going to stay centrally and is going to be a forward. Joe Curran. Hi guys, here we'll wear another one under the belt just to keep it going. Absolutely. That's us marching up the table again. Gav, we're on 76 points. And the Rotten Mob is on 70 points as it stands, but obviously they play Dundee tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So let's keep a couple of fingers crossed that, who is it? Matt McGee, isn't it? Matt McGee up at Dundee. Matt McGee can maybe pull out a few injuries or something like that. Danielle, thanks very much, pal. Great show as always. Hope you're both well after that classy show. Absolutely. Same to yourself, pal. Red Scotland. Personally, I want my Celtic side with two strikers. Yeah, me too, pal. But failing that, I'd have Giakoumakis up top with Kyle and behind in the number 10. For he's not a left winger, as you say, Gav. It's a good shout, that, maybe. Number 10, Kyle, what do you think?
Number 10, yeah. I'm open to it. Like, Ange's a man. I trust in Ange's plan. Sorry for rhyming there, but
good effort, keep up.
I'd like to see it happen. But with only 7 games to go, whatever the formula is working. So I can't see Ange changing the formula.
Especially at this stage of the season.
Yeah, the personnel will be dictated by form, by injuries, by sports science, whenever you're anticipating injuries, that sort of thing, which I don't know much about. I think McGinty's your man for that sort of thing. The formula is going to stay the same. It's just the personnel is going to be interchangeable. Yes.
Right. Scott Cameron says that the other rotten mob will not beat our goal difference. I'm just looking at it now, mate. Celtic have got a goal difference of 51 plus, obviously, and they've got 36. So I certainly do not see us being beaten goal difference, and that could be pivotal at one point. Hopefully, we don't get to be as close as that, but you know, there has been leagues that's went down to goal difference. Donny Boy 67. What's the thoughts on the penalty we got and the two we didn't? Thought the one we got wasn't a pen as the ball was played onto hand from Giakoumakis' head. I would say the one that we got, mate, was a stone wall. The guy jumped up. You know what I mean?
I don't know why they were complaining. Like, I must have missed something. I don't know why they were complaining.
But what about the other two, do you think, Gav? Sure.
Look, I only remember one, and that was in the first half. That was on the 13th minute. It was when Hungbo, I think it was Hungbo, who raised his hands. And for me...
Mate, that's a great name, man. That's like the ultimate porn star name, isn't it? Joseph Hungbo.
Probably. For me, that was blatant. The referee shat it. I thought the referee, his justification for saying no was because it was too close. But the guy opened up like a peacock. You know what I mean? Like, you can't justify that. I don't know the second one.
He opened up like what?
He opened up like a peacock with fucking wings.
That's the first time I heard that.
Like, could have went for another kind of porn reference with opening up, but I thought I'd go for like a David Attenborough reference.
A family friendly one. Never mind Joseph Hungbo doing a bit of penetrating at the back. Joe Agnew, how you doing, pal? Hail, boys. Interchange, brilliant. Nothing new. Lisbon Lions and before did this, so nice to see this happening, making it hard for all teams. Absolutely. I mean, it's no hard, and it's the good thing about having. It's the one good thing that I kind of see about having like a right-footed guy playing on the left and a left-footed guy playing on the right, because naturally wingers, Gav used to be a left-footed guy on the left and a right-footed guy on the right, and they would always come into their weaker foot. But now guys are kind of more focused on getting their weaker foot stronger. So they're able to have a bit more balance when they're coming inside. So it is good that way. And of course, being direct and being able to come inside onto your stronger foot and take a shot at goal or slip somebody through, it is good. Where are we? Andrew Taggart. Yep, 15 points goal difference, mate. What is this? Michelle Hunter. Yep, good 3 points in the bag. Great to see Turnbull back. It won't be long until Guile goes back. Michelle, I think Turnbull's obviously a couple of weeks ahead in front of Kyogo, but the wee man was back in training there during the week, so brilliant to see. We're going to be at full strength again for this title running. Obviously, Chris Julian was the first long-term absentee back into the fold.
I noticed that he wasn't on the bench. I don't think we're going to be. I think his injury's been too long in the bush, mate, for him to come right back in. You know, I think too long. I've never heard that phrase. Too long in the bush.
Neither have I, mate. I think I might have just made up the spot there. I don't actually know what the fuck it means. Too long in the tail, or too long in the tooth or something.
You still on the porn references? Too long in the bush. I was actually. I was looking at the bench, and I'm going to read it out. And on the bench, okay, because I don't think there's actually a defender. We've got Bain. There's no centre back. You don't even have Welsh there. Never mind your man Julian.
Well, I've got Beaton.
True. I was going to ask you one thing, and to the viewers as well. So, if you can think back to half time, okay, we're 3-0 up. They've got a man sent off. So you know that the second half is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel. At that point, what were you thinking of? Were you thinking math changes, or to quote Oliver Twist, yes sir, please can I have some more? What were you looking for to kind of boost that goal difference, or to wrap people in cotton wool at half time?
No, I was actually fine with going and chasing more the day for some reason. Generally, like if we've been 2-3 up, I've been like, right, get him off, save him for the next game. But the day, Gav, you could just see everything was flowing. Everything was just, it was superior from start to finish. And just the fact that I said, mate, like, first half, basically 10 men inside the opposition's box. It's unheard of and unseen for a long, long time for Celtic. But that's what we should be doing at Celtic Park, mate. On our own patch, we should be dominating everybody. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Livingston or fucking Leverkusen, Barcelona, Real Madrid, or fucking, I don't know, fucking Banking United or something. Anybody that comes to Celtic Park, we should be playing like the dominating team against everybody. There's Celtic or Rabito again, talking about Maeda's celebration. I hope you're true, mate. What you're saying here, Ari Maeda, when kids in Japan put up their balled up hands on their faces, they're pretending to be a popular anime hero and pan man, whoever the fuck that is.
The guy's got to be right, man. Like, how can we question that?
Mate, it certainly sounds plausible. I've got a nephew who's into all that anime shit. I'll need to ask who
anime. That's fine. That's fine.
No, I tell you why, mate. I was an 8 days Google it. Scott, how you doing, pal? Hail, superb result. We are fucking unstoppable. Bring on the Sevco. Donny boy. Hibs played with 5 up front in the 50s. Can you see Celtic playing that way domestically as we're top heavy? Well, yeah. Even if you go to the even if you go to the 60s, Donny, you look at Jockstein's formation, and it was fucking, what was it, 4-2-4-1, something like that. You know, it was very, very top heavy. There he is, Alan Woods. How you doing, buddy? Hail from the beautiful seaside. Yes, Ange is the man for the plan by the man. Love it. Love it.
You know it.
Yeah, he fucking does know it. There's another new guy, Lanky67. How you doing, big guy? I hope it's you're big in those. No one of the ironic names, and you're like 5 feet, nothing. What a superb performance from the boys and 6 points clear. Absolutely, mate. As I said earlier, the Rotten Mob are playing tomorrow at 12 o'clock up in Dundee, up in Dens Park. New manager, hopefully the new bounce kind of thing on the go. But again, we're in the driving seat now. Everything now is going to be over to them. Gav,
can I ask you? It's going to be an unpopular question. It's about the Mankey Mob. With their continued jamming,
aye, and Europe.
Are you expecting with that kind of with the midweek distractions in Europe? Are you expecting them to eventually drop points, or are you getting worried?
Well, I mean, there is 2 ways you can look at it, Gav. They're out of the quarterfinals of the Europa League, which surely to God it must give a team confidence, and it must give them a new sense of excitement. You know, it would be the same if it was us, mate. Let's not beat about the bush. But for some reason, they've been having issues with the kind of European hangover that we would kind of usually associate with us. We're not having that. Obviously, no, we're not having that now because we're not in Europe, but we've been fine this season for most times. That other mob, they've been dropping points after coming back from Europe, and they've not been playing well. So, you know, Dundee's in their shout, mate. But as you say, they're very, very jammy. Still getting some very, very highly contentious decisions going their way. But do you know what, mate?
I can't believe it.
And if there's any Waynes watching, cover your ears and who. Fuck them. Who gives a fuck about them? Let them do what they're doing, mate. Big Ange is just in the house flat, rubbing Tatziki into his chest here, but he's like, oh, get up, you fucking. He's not caring, mate. Why should you? He's sitting in the house with a big bottle of Ouzo. Get up. He's got a Junzo. He's got a George Bowie on. But anyway, enough shite talk for us, mate. Let's get back onto the comments for the rest of the shite talk as well. Big Red Scotland. I think the first half of the Glasgow derby at Ibrox, we should start the game at a tempo they'll struggle to contain us. Jamie Young, loving watching Celtic right now. How could you not be, buddy? Dundee will part their cheeks tomorrow, a humping on the cards. Just hope they don't score too many. Talking about humping, there's talking about a semi. Scott Cameron Kyle is meant to be back for the semi-final. I hope so. I actually hope he's back before that. Sean McAteer, how you doing, buddy? I think you've been on before. Hail, lads. Tuning in from Hong Kong, originally Airdrie. Great to hear, buddy, and I'm pretty sure that the English in Hong Kong must be spoken better than the English in Airdrie. Where else are we in the comments? Oh, there's Lanky, what size are you, buddy? Is it Donny Boy? 5 feet nothing, that's him. Good stuff.
Paddy, see, whenever the international break comes up, how miserable a time is it for you, and how do you occupy yourself with like no football?
Oh, mate, it's horrible, but do you know what? Thank God that we've got this wee venture on the go now, because we get to sit and talk shite about Celtic, mate, and get to go back and talk about things that we forgot. Like, because we'll probably go and do a couple of topical subjects now on the weekly roundup, because clearly we've got nothing to talk about. So this is when it's good, like when we've got all the comments coming in. Guys, if there's anything you want us to discuss and join in, obviously, let us know.
Yeah, for the Tuesday roundup that we do, if there's going to be an international break, we need to talk about something. So we've done what have we done, Paddy? We've done like our greatest 11 of unsung heroes. We've done a Neil Lennon episode. We've done a top 11 of your hardest ever players to play for Celtic. Aaron Wood.
Somebody asked us. I've got a bit of paper lying about here. I'm in my office / gym here. Somebody asked us to do the ugliest 11 Celtic.
Okay.
I might be an end of the season one. That.
Well, I just figured that I don't know. The ugliest 11.
It's going to be Davy Moyes, surely. He's going to be number one. Huh?
I only know Davy Moyes now, but I don't really remember him back then.
He was like, he looked like a mutant.
I don't want to have like a full episode of us discussing like good-looking guys and not so good-looking guys and like rating them like 1 to 10 like that. That's
mate. I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. Mate. I can discuss it.
Okay. So you tell me who's a good-looking guy and who's an ugly-looking guy. I can do that, but I don't want to get into the kind of he's a 7 for me. No, he's a 4 for me.
Swipe right on him.
Aye, like Celtic Tinder.
Aye. It'll be a Celtic grinder by the sounds of it, but aye. But no, listen, if there's anything you guys want to get brought up, if you want to talk about, leave us a comment, whatever, and we'll sit and get them back in. Andrew Taggart, what's that, buddy? Paddy, talk about the times in the old jungle. Sure, there's good stories. Well, Andrew, a lot of people have actually asked us. Yeah, well, get rid of that fucking banner there. A lot of people have actually asked us, you know, what is the jungle gyms? What does that mean? And obviously, anybody that knows the jungle gyms is a kind of rhyming slang for Tim's, but it kind of mainly comes from the jungle end. We're of an age where we would have been taken to the games as Waynes in the jungle. We don't really have that many memories, but again, that was our era because we're of that age. You know what I mean? There's only really one story that I can remember for the jungle, and anybody that's old enough to have stood in terraces will know all about the hot pocket. And I remember somebody pissed in my pocket when I was a wee boy. In the stand, that's my memory of the jungle. Sorry, the first memory is getting lifted on the stanchion and then getting pissed in my pocket. So there you are. That's my one and only memories for fucking my day at the jungle.
One thing I will say, like I remember, like, my only memory was a UEFA Cup game, Celtic against Young Boys of Bern. It was the most boring game ever. We won 1-0, and it was an OG that kind of put us through to the next round. But by the way, do you remember whenever the old Celtic
If anybody's listening, no watching, Red Scotland, I got my leg pushed on, but it was winter and it felt warm, so it was okay. That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough.
Do you remember whenever the old stadium was getting taken down? It was part of the revamp, and the actual stands, the big kind of green stands. So they were actually, I don't know if they were going up for sale or like they were just like giving them to fans. But I remember my dad managed to get a few of them, and he brought them back to the house, and he just stuck them in the garden. I'm like, what are you going to do with them? Like just like big metal. Like stands, they were like, quite big, you know what I mean? What are you going to do with them? He says, like, I'll just put it around the garden and I'll stick it down and I'll just like lean on it. And I'm like, why? And he just stuck it behind like the garage and it rusted. And like after a couple of years, he had to chuck it away. So it was like a good bit of Celtic memorabilia, but kind of wasted.
I think a lot of the guys that were on the contract for the job, mate, were kind of taking bits and bobs away and selling them on, you know what I mean, as memorabilia. But listen, as I say, that's kind of, obviously we've not got the greatest of memories for the Jungle, virtually any, but I'm pretty sure there's older guys on here, you know, they'll have some brilliant memories, but that's why it is. That's why we're the Jungle Gyms, you know what I mean? So, and in case any of you are on YouTube or anything like that, looking for us, there's another Jungle Gym podcast, and it's fucking some American guy that's reviewing supermarkets or something. Please don't watch him. Watch us.
It'd be good if we could get his subscribers to kind of come over to us. Yeah, that'd be good.
Mate, we've already had a couple of comments from guys thinking, where is your supermarket? You know? Mate, maybe it was that poor cunt that was on earlier going, like, you've got funny accents.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Aye. Right, Paddy, mate, Paddy. We've got.
Wait, right. Hold on. I'm going to raise this comment. Right, Danielle. One of Celtic's ugliest players tried to buy me a drink in a nightclub in town. A Mexican guy, Efran Juarez. Right, Danielle. I've actually spoken about this guy before. Now, I get told the story by a good pal of mine, known him for years. He was in the dancing in the town in Glasgow one night, and he went in for a pee in the guy's toilets, and he opened up the cubicle, and there was fucking Efren Juarez, absolutely comatose in the corner. He'd spewed all his hair, I think he'd shit his pants and everything. He was absolutely mongled. So, if you don't mind, Ten, let us know exactly what nightclub you were in. So I'm pretty sure I can back that one up for you.
Was there a nightclub called, was it like Tunnel, that a lot of the football players used to go to? Mm-hmm. Tunnel. I don't
know if they went there. I remember anybody that's for Glasgow. There was one called Archaeos. I actually remember, mate. I remember I seen Reggie Blinker there, and he was just standing passionate in the middle of the dance floor.
Really?
Aye. I was at the Unders at the time.
I went to the Cat House Unders at that point. So you went to Archaeos. I was at the Cat House. You went to Archaeos.
Oh, there you go. There's our first mono. Strachan's laptop sheet podcast, by the way. That's your name. Get up here.
Keep it coming, mate.
Fucking nugget.
He was actually on like a month ago or so. Fuck him. Mate, subscribe. Reggie Bunker, pushing in the Archaeos.
Yep. There you are, big lanky. Must be a Glasgow boy. Archaeos, I used to jump about there in my teen years. Good man.
Who's on the right though? If you're watching it like on your phone, is it me on the right or you on the right? I hope
it's you know, mate. Nah, fuck that, it's me. No. Mind your language. Scott, how's the test going now? But it's no idea, pal. Red Scotland. I was in the Plaza. Jeez, oh. Red Scotland again. The Archies. Aye. we know you're only kidding on. We love you too, pal.
Right, Paddy, mate.
Everybody loves us. Anyway, back to football. Absolutely, back to football.
Right. So,
mate, Giakoumakis, He scored a hat-trick. He scored his second hat-trick for Celtic. He scored back-to-back hat-tricks. The last time he played at Celtic Park in the league was against Dundee United, and he scored a hat-trick. Now again, he scored a hat-trick. The guy is sensational. I love him.
Good for you. Good for you. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Did you know that in Germany? Did you know that in Germany, in order to score a hat-trick, I don't know. They've got a weird kind of thing about it. You can't just score 3 goals in a game to get a hat-trick. I think you need to. I don't know. Read about it. Google a German hat-trick. A German hat-trick is different. That sounds like a kind of porn reference. It's not. Still about football, but
I'll stick that. No, actually, pass on. I was going to say something.
Yeah, about your internet history.
Delete.
It's under surveillance. Right, okay.
There's Daniel getting back to us. Thanks, pal. Sunday night in Bamboo. I think that's where we Dave. So all the Celtic players went on a Sunday night as they had Mondays off. A bit of a scandal here. Kissed a few of Celtic's ugliest, one called Killian Sheridan as well. Yeah, we dirty.
Killian Sheridan.
Tell us, what do you think? Is he better looking with the short hair or with this fucking mad long hair that he's got now?
Does he get short hair now, aye?
No, I mean, he's got a big lion's mane with a big beard and all that now.
All right, so whenever we signed him, he had short hair. Aye.
There's Ewan Boy Martin. I met Lennon in the Hogs Head Bar on Woodlands Road back in 2001. On the day we won the league, and I was so pissed that I spilt my pint all over his suit. He was not happy. Well, do you know what? Ewan, fuck him.
That's not what you said in the Neil Lennon episode. You were rather diplomatic about the man.
I still am. Right, Strachan's laptop. German hat-trick player scores 3 goals in a row and one half without the half-time break or a goal scored by another player interrupting
yes.
performance.
Yes. Thank you, mate. Thank you for using your laptop to figure that information out. Aye, so if you score one goal in the first half and 2 in the second half, that's not a hat-trick apparently in Germany, which is weird.
There's Lanky as well. The term a Lupenreiner hat-trick, flawless hat-trick, refers to when a player scores 3 goals in a row and one half without the half-time break or a goal scored by another player interrupting the whatever you meant to put at the end there. Fucking.
That's a tough guy.
It's very complicated, isn't it?
You'd be fucking raging, wouldn't you? If you score 3 goals in a game and you're looking for the match ball and the referee's trying to tell you in German, 9.
Fuck off. Oh my god, that was right up there with fucking something like Basil Fawlty or something. Oh.
Remember Michael Barrymore in Celebrity Big Brother?
Oh, he's a fucking bear, ain't him, man. Can't stand that guy.
So Paddy, 7 games to go. Every weekend now is going to be fucking a test on the old sphincter that we hold it together. How are you feeling, man? How are you feeling? And the next game, so we've got the international break. The next game is Rangers in 2 weeks.
Aye, so as I said earlier on, mate, next month is going to be fucking hectic. We've got 3 games against them. First one's at Ibrox. Second one's the semi-final at Hampden. Easter Sunday, by the way, guys. 2 o'clock. Which is a strange time, I know. 2 o'clock. And then it's just it's the game at Celtic Park, mate. I don't know. I really don't know. McGinty made a good point, which I kind of overlooked at the time, but it was a good point. He said that he would, if like, you know, you had to make some deal with the devil or something to win the league.
Some say the devil is dead. The devil is dead.
Correct. If you had to make some deal with the devil, which they probably already have, they bastards, that he would lose the game at Celtic Park, but win the game at Ibrox, so that he's already won the league by the time that they even get to Celtic Park. which it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, mate, I don't want to see them beating us on the rain patch. I would rather try and take something off them at the shit pit. The League Cup, the Scottish Cup, sorry. I don't ever want to see us. I don't ever want to see us lose a game, mate. I really don't. But I'm going to kind of bypass that one because I'm not interested in it. In the overall, the only thing I care now is about the league, mate. I just want this league so much. I want us to win every game. Of course I do. But winning a treble is going to be so hard. That league is, mate, it's everything. It's everything to me. I know you guys are probably going to be different opinions, but I just want this league so much, mate. It hurts. It actually hurts how much I want it.
What I would say is I don't have much time for the hypothetical, and the reality is it's one game at a time. That's all we need to do, one game at a time. Let's hope with the international break there's no new injuries. Next game, Rangers. Let's just fucking beat them. Move on to the next game. Beat them.
Aye. Maybe that's the best way to do it, mate. Just fucking go a game at a time. But listen, me and you, we're just ordinary Celtic supporters. I'm sure the guys and girls that's commenting the side are the exact same. All we want to do, mate, is just fucking see Celtic win. But we're passionate, mate. We're passionate, mate. We're emotional. We love it. That's why we love Celtic. That's why we love football. It's so that we can get the passion. You know what I mean? It'd be boring if it was boring.
Boring if it was boring.
It'd be boring if it was boring. Where are we? Thanks to the guys for the comments about the pod, by the way. You and Boy, lots of good pods on the go, bud, and this is a cracker. Thanks very much. Lanky, yeah, you must have been taking a fucking bit of smack before you came on, mate. Is it just weird as bad as like Callum McGregor? No.
In the last episode, I get called like a chubby looking Callum McGregor.
See that?
I'm like, I'll take that. I like that.
Kev 14, yes, mate. This league and next year gets us 80 million guaranteed from the Champions League. We can dare to dream of what could be. He's right. I don't actually have the figures in front of me, but I think I was talking to you about them the last time, mate. There's been some. It might be today with the Russian team's being kicked out of football or the girl for some. I can't mind exactly what it is, mate. But basically,
Is that had a knock-on effect with Birmingham?
I think it is. But basically, the Champions League next year, mate. If the Scottish teams get in, whatever Scottish teams gets in, sorry, mate, it's basically fucking cash windfalls. It's see, like, obviously what you get for qualifying, what you get for your participation in the groups, what you get for a win bonus, a draw bonus, blah 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 blah. Everything's going to be like fucking so much more. You're right, Scott Cameron. That's probably a better one. Paddy is a fucking wee fat messy. You're right, mate. If you see me on a Saturday morning, I am a mess because I'm usually fucking blazing. Joe Agnew, great. Hail, watching the rugby. The ref talks through the game where all supporters and tele-audience can hear clearly. So why football not doing this? We would hear more Masonic talk. Well, there you are.
What's the score? Is Ireland beating Scotland right now?
I've got no idea, mate. I've been talking to you. I've given you my full attention.
Talking refs mic'd up. I think, do you think the way that the game is going, that's an eventuality? We'll get VAR now. VAR's going to...
Are we getting VAR for next season, Gav?
Is VAR coming to Scotland next season?
That's what I'm saying. I don't... What's next season going to be? 22,
I think
23?
there's still to be a final vote on it. I think it's still to be...
I think... I'll tell you now. There you are, Stephen Coulthard, 14-5 Ireland. Go on the boys. Let's see. Double VR Scottish football.
I've still got that tune in my head that some say the devil is dead.
The devil is dead. 2 seconds, just trying to check this.
Paddy, do you have a second sport apart from football? I don't actually know that about you.
No, not really, mate. I watch a lot of sports, but I'm no as enthusiastic about other sports. That's what I am for football. Love my snooker. It's probably about it, mate. Aye. Bore a fuck, mate. Bore a fuck, my olden days. Red Scotland. You need to explain this, buddy. I start yin yoga on Monday morning. Woohoo! Getting all cultured and pretentious in my midlife crisis. What the fuck is yin yoga?
I would imagine it's just yoga. That's the name of it, yin yoga.
And do you know what, Alan Woods? We love you, pal, because you always come out with beautiful comments. I love this pod as it's anti-woke, anti-PC bollocks. Yes, mate.
Cheers.
Yes,
Cheers.
yes. And because we're nice guys, like we don't go into lots of details, but we generally don't give a fuck. But we're no bad guys. We don't openly disrespect people.
Alan, I got a new Real Madrid top, by the way, because I'm pure into my fascism. You know what I mean? So for the days around, I'll wear my new Real Madrid top just to wind you up.
And there's Cooking with Chef Di, by the way. Anybody's no jump to YouTube, go and Google Cooking with Chef Di for some tips and secret recipes and shit like that. He's into his other sports. Love me some topless darts. I can imagine you just having a right good chunk to Raymond Van Barnevel's diddies.
I was thinking a bullseye for the nipple, but
yes, Ewan boy, we can say fuck on here too. Very real, lads. Listen, me and Gav have had pelters since we started this.
I think we've been quite fairly lucky though with it. Most of the viewers have been really, really, really kind. I think.
We've had
a couple of like trolls for Govan, haven't we?
I don't know, mate. We've just had a couple of fucking dafties on giving it. Stop swearing. This is YouTube and this and that. But like, as Gavin and I said, and McGinty said as well, and Daz both said it. I know we started this up because Gavin McGinty started up, and it was with the idea of it being a loose conversation, the way you would sit and talk to your pals in a pub. So, see the way that we all sit here and talk. That's the way we talk in real life in a pub. So, no change, you know what I mean? And it's good because you can come on here and say what you want and all. To an extent, obviously. But generally, yes, very, very loose. We'll call a hunt, and we'll tell you to fuck off, you prick. How's that?
Very well said. Right, Paddy, anything else to talk about, or are we just going to wrap it up for the night?
There was a comment earlier on. Big Ange says that Rogic's injury wasn't too bad, which is good news.
And O'Reilly had a wee knock. Did you actually see it? Whenever O'Reilly took the knock, he actually did like a pure Zidane-esque thing where he dragged it back with his left heel. Looked really, really kind of elegant, but I think he got a wee knock from that. So hopefully O'Reilly is pretty good as well. That's why we like it. Good old pub talk. Mate, I was actually looking at with the weather today. You would just want a cold pint in a pub, man.
Aye, mate, I'm going to go and grab a couple more. I think don't usually drink a Sunday, so go to help me Monday morning. Aye, mate, Everton's hunky dory. As I say, we're fucking flying in the league. Everton's great. Rose in the garden. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard watch. I think this fucking title running. It really is.
If you've got a bad ticker, then stay away from football because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it every weekend.
I know.
You can't feel entitled for the 3 points. You need to earn it.
No, and obviously we've got the fucking rotten mob 2 weeks time, and then it gets into the split. Now the thing is with the split is that we really actually do not know who we're going to get because see between where is it? Right, so between 4th place and 9th. Sorry, between 4th place in 10th place. There's literally 4 points in it, mate. 4 points. Dundee United are 4th now with 39 points. And in 10th place, Aberdeen are 35 points. So we could be playing.
Aberdeen are in 10th.
Yes.
Did they beat Hibs today?
The last I checked, mate, it was 1 each. Hope we did, because I'd like to see big. Yes, mate, good. They pumped Hibs 3-1.
Would you fancy playing Aberdeen under Jim Goodwin, though?
Aye. I fancy us to play anybody. But aye, it's good to see the big man getting some points on the board up there in his new job. Best of luck. But aye, as I say, it's going to be really really hard, mate, because like obviously whoever finishes top 6, that's who's going to be in the split. So you're looking at teams like Livingston. That's a hard. Livingston are 6 now. The travelling there's hard. Tannadice is a good trip. I like that, but they're playing well, I know, under Tam Courts. Hibs.
I think Hibs are still kind of in a meltdown. I don't think they've really they're on the ascent.
Aye, definitely. I think we would take the game to Hibs, but generally you're looking at teams that it would be a hard game and a hard visit to go to. You know what I mean? If we avoid Ross County, get up there's a pretty shitty fucking ground, isn't it?
Yeah, Dungwall.
Fucking Dungwall. Aye, but fuck it, we will play whoever, mate, and we'll win against whoever. Are we still confident, Gav? What do you think about this league, buddy?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. We did the predictions at the start of the season, and you and McGinty, and this was before Ange Ball, before we knew what we were getting ourselves in for. It was just on paper what we thought we were going to get, and you and McGinty said, we're going to win the league." Me being, well, I was trying to kind of think of it logically, but like the way that Rangers have played last season, I said I tipped Rangers to win the league. And that's going to go. It's going to go down in a fucking ton.
Fucking yeah, fucking confession in the morning, you.
I know, mate. I know. I need to go eat confession. But the way things are right now. But what's the point of having a mind if you can't change it? So,
correct.
With the way things are right now, then yeah, why would you not tip Celtic to win the league?
Just
take game after game after game.
Aye, absolutely. Just one for Joe. Thinking of comedy stand-up like myself. First sports Celtic, second Celtic, and every other Celtic. Absolutely, mate. Just fucking normal guys shooting the shit, mate. We just love Celtic. That's all we do. Ewan boy, you'll need to tell us what this one is, mate. I am on Axon live for the game against Sevco in 2 weeks. Will be a hard watch being sober for that one. Are you actually getting on the show, mate? And if you're best of luck to you, pal.
What about?
Aye, that's us, mate.
Right, nice one. Look, 2 of yours, mate. Look, I think your comments and this is just fucking boring, man. It's blank. Well, I enjoy talking to Paddy. Paddy's a good chat, as you know. But without the viewers and your comments, then that's the lifeblood to the podcast. You know it. We know it. Keep it coming, please. And during the international break, we need topics to discuss. So please give us comments about suggestions. What would you like us to talk about? Like delving back into the archives of Celtic, talking about like particular captains, players, controversial characters. Give us ideas, and we can do like a dedicated episode about that. We need new content, new material. So give us ideas, please, and we'll rack our heads as well.
Absolutely. Lanky 67. Yep. Right, troops. Have an awesome weekend. Keep it green and white. Hoorah, Lanky out. Peace. Love it, mate. Thanks very much for interaction today. And same again, as Gav says, couldn't be doing it without you guys. So if any's are new, any's haven't done it yet, jump on YouTube, give the page a wee like, a wee subscribe, wee thumbs up, all that fucking kind of stuff. As it says on the bottom, on the wee tick a bit running about. We're on Twitter, at Joggle Jim's Pod. What else are we on, Gav?
I don't know.
We're on Facebook and all, guys, but we're going to give that a birth a wide berth because we fucking hate Facebook. So YouTube, Twitter, Discord, I think, fucking, what else? Twitch. On Twitch I know sometimes I know. But anyway, YouTube and that. That's us. But aye, brilliant. Thanks very much, everybody.
Hope life is good. Hope the weekend is good. Take care.
Well, we've got a wee change for the night, Gav. We don't need to do the awkward kind of cheesy frozen face because we've got the outro now.
Oh, can we still make it cheesy? I love a bit of cheese.
Oh, aye. Right, so just before we play the outro, we're going to say hail, hail, and cheerio.
Yeah.